Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Sunshine. I know, I'm a little late to this party. 2007, right? Okay. Not against watching older films. It's so funny. 2007 is an older film. That just gets me every time. But, just saw it on TikTok. Somebody referred to one of the other movies I watched as this reminded him of Sunshine. Of course, I forget who that TikToker was, but a lot better than me, that guy. So then maybe I shouldn't give you his name. Stay with me. I'll lead you right down the boring path. But this is, what is it, Cillian Murphy. I always remember him from Batman, being the first villain. I like that. Rose Byrne, Chris Evans, Cliff Curtis, Michelle Yeoh, Benedict Wong, Mark Strong. That just rhymes. Anyway, so it's about a team of international astronauts who set off to reignite the sun. Funny. I got a funny story about that one. Think about movie scripts and stuff like that. Come up with it. I'm not going to share my idea because someday I will write a movie script about this, but somewhat related. But this takes place in 2057. Here's the cool thing. This is why I'm late to the bus. 254,000 people have rated this as 7.2 already. So, yeah, very late. But I appreciate you watching. Let's get into it. Find out what it's about. Give you a better idea. Let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Sunshine. We're at the 57-minute, 6-second mark. Just over halfway. I forget if I told you how long it is. I think it's an hour and 47 minutes long. And, so good. Interesting so far. Now, I will share with you, if you stuck with me this far, that the TikToker that I saw mentioned something about, I believe, the third act. Which, I think other people have commented on about this movie. I don't know yet. I really had to Google how many acts are in a movie. Normally there is only 3 acts, the beginning, the middle, and the end. So, I don't know. I'm not there yet. We're only halfway through. I don't think we've started the third act yet. Hopefully not. But, action-packed. It moves quick. So if you're into something like that that's going to hold your interest, it really does. Right from the beginning. Like there was a point where, they're going to reignite the sun, essentially. And as they're out there, I think it's a 16 months trip. They have an idea. I guess somebody was there before them or started going out before them. And the idea or the thought is, do we go to that and see what's there, maybe rescue them? I don't know, or do we continue down the mission? And so that's the first big event that's going to happen on this thing. And they're going to make decisions, and the physicist is going to figure out everything. And so, as you can imagine, those kinds of things come up, and then bad things happen, right? So it's just not a smooth run to the sun and drop off a bomb, turn around, come home, everybody's happy, and be a short movie. So we've got to see the problems that they run into and how they overcome them. And that's what we're watching. But right in the beginning, or not even in the beginning, I guess in the first act, I don't know, there is, major things go down. I actually paused it and I was like, oh, it's not even time for a check-in yet. So, my point being, it's very fast and gripping, I think, so far. So, we'll see. But, I don't know if there was anything. I didn't even recognize Chris Evans. I read his name, I'm watching it, and I was like, who is that? I think I recognize him. Not thinking of Chris Evans, I was thinking of another guy. I'll look up his name, but I was like that. And then, finally, I was like, oh, that's Chris Evans. But so far, so good. Interesting, very typical of these types of movies. I think, Armageddon, all that kind of stuff, right? So Armageddon, they're going up to blow up an asteroid that's going to blow up the Earth. So a space travel type movie to save the world, and all the problems that they overcome, right? So we'll see where it goes from here. I'm interested to see what this whole third act piece is. And if you stick around to the end, I will share with you my idea that I talked about at the beginning of this. And I honestly, I've never seen this movie before, I never heard of it before, but I had an idea, built off of somebody else suggested it to me. So I want to share that with you if you stick with me till the end. And we'll talk about it then. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Sunshine, and I totally get it. right? I totally get it now. I see what that guy was saying. I see what other people, or what he was referencing as other people saying. And I don't really read reviews that much, but kind of changed changed a lot about the film, I think. It changed, I was going to say, the identity of this film. Really, for me, when you watch this film, it's kind of what I've been sharing the whole time. It's about a group of astronauts coming together to save the planet in, like a high-risk kind of mission, right? I mean, I think anytime somebody goes into space, you have to think of it kind of like a suicide mission, right? You have to factor, you probably have less of a chance returning home than you do, dying out in space. I would think. I don't know. I'm sure there's, maybe not these astronauts. But in this case, you gotta think that, especially if you're saving the planet, if you don't get it right, I mean, there's no planet to come back to. But that's really what it's all about. It's about them, working together, risking their lives to save the entire planet, overcoming all these obstacles. I will say this, a lot of good actors and actresses in this that don't have too much of an opportunity to shine. And I pun intended on that one. I mean, they do a great job in the small spots that they get, but it's so action-packed. I mean, it's not dialogue or character-driven. I mean, it is character-driven, but it's not, you know what I mean, the actors. So I think, getting these types of actors into this film really helped a lot, because the limited amount of, acting that you had to rely on to carry the film was, really escalated because of the people that they got into it. So I like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And the whole piece, the third act, the hour and 14 minutes is kind of when I noticed what was going to go down. Ugh, take that out. What do you need that for? We want to be different. I get it, but serves no purpose. I think there's another way to make the point that I think that they were trying to make with what they were going on there. And I don't want to go into too much detail and ruin anything for you if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, it was a great film. I thought it was a lot of fun, in a sense, tragic, but gripping. So there you go. That's what I got. I will throw a 7 at it as well. Could have been an 8. Could also have been a 6. But I went into it prepared for that. I think if I wasn't prepared, because the whole movie is unrealistic or unbelievable or, all those kinds of things. And that extra piece is even like icing on the cake when you think it through. Alright, enough about that. So that's what I got for you. If you stuck with me this far, I'm going to give you the inside information to this mind. Okay, now I know I lost half of you now. But anyway, prior to this movie, I honestly never heard of this movie, never seen this movie before until I saw it on TikTok. But I had the idea of exactly this movie, about the sun burning out. I shouldn't say I didn't have the idea. I was shared this idea with somebody else. This idea was shared with me from somebody else. Like, the concept. And think about a movie around it. Like, wow, okay. And my thought at the time, and what I've been trying to work through, is 5 different perspectives. Alright? So, you have the genius people trying to figure out how do they do that. The party people who are just going to go out and celebrate the end of the world and their whole backstory in their life. And the family people, those kinds of people who are trying to spend more time with family, so on and so forth. So like creating, maybe 5's an exaggeration, but 3 to 5 type of, simultaneous stories going on based on this concept. And now, this takes in 2057, we could do a prequel to Sunshine. And maybe this has been talked about, I live alone here in my basement, with all my friends, and this could be out there, and there could be probably a whole Reddit thing kind of going on about this. But, and again, I'm late to the party. But that's what, I actually did have that, the 3 to 5 different stories. I mean, imagine that, and then it ends with them trying to find astronauts to pull this off. Or at least that's the one side of the story, and all that kind of stuff. So, I didn't think of it as a prequel to this. I thought, then we come to the end, what actually happens with all these stories and what happens with the son, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm sure, again, other people have talked about this and seen this before, but if you want to connect, let me know. Bounce ideas off each other and figure out how to write this script and sell it. If you think I'm crazy, I apologize. But trademark, I just say that right now because I trademarked that movie idea. Alright, if you stuck with me this far, wow, I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. And that's it. Kimmel's Irish Pub.